Good.
My whip be a horse, no Rory. I'm switching the lanes, no Tory. So hot, just coming safari. Wait, look at the glory. Don't bow before me. Then it's gonna be gory. Road dogs pulled up with a big strap. Like sorry. Me and BZ know we go way back. In the basement, whipping the playback. Slap mistakes, I done pay for my sins though. Took L's, now I'm coming for payback. These shots better know I don't play that. That shit they talk, get traced back. Excalibur, look how I play that. Like bad boy, take that. Yo, man. Keep playing with the team.
Oh, man.
They ain't know that we dream team?
I guess not.
Yo, stop playing. Stop let them know. My whip be a horse, no Rory. I'm switching the lanes, no Tory. So hot, just coming safari. Wait, look at the glory. Don't bow before me. Then it's gonna be gory. Road dogs pulled up with a big strap. Like sorry. Me and BZ know we go way back. In the basement, whipping the playback. Slap mistakes, I done pay for my sins though. Took L's, now I'm coming for payback. These shots better know I don't play that. That shit they talk, get traced back. Excalibur, look how I play that. Like bad boy, take that. Yo, man. They keep playing with the team.
Oh, man.
They ain't know that we dream team?
I guess not.
Yo, stop playing. Stop let them know. My whip be a horse, no Rory. I'm switching the lanes, no Tory. So hot, just coming safari. Wait, look at the glory. Don't bow before me. Then it's gonna be gory. Road dogs pulled up with a big strap. Like sorry. Me and BZ know we go way back. In the basement, whipping the playback. Slap mistakes, I done pay for my sins though. Took L's, now I'm coming for payback. These shots better know I don't play that. That shit they talk, get traced back. Excalibur, look how I play that. Like bad boy, take that.
Yeah. Go.
Yo, man. What's up? Why they keep playing with the team?
Oh, man.
They ain't know that we dream team?
I guess not.
Yo, stop playing. Stop let them know.
Okay. All right. It looks like we're back. You know what I mean? It's crazy because we talking about sports tonight, and these guys about to get cut.
Oh, man.
Yo,
Damn.
first they're gonna do some wind sprints, burn their lungs and chest, and then we're gonna send them home.
Damn.
We're gonna say, hey, thanks for your good work and hard work, but no.
Next season.
Yeah. Try again next season.
Right.
Hey,
Can you hear?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Our brother's on?
Is he on now?
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Welcome
baby.
Oh,
to the
man.
Nehemiah squad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, James. Thank you
James,
for hanging
we
out with us.
appreciate you, brother.
Hey,
real.
not a problem.
Thank you, bro. We was just saying that since we talk about sports now, and you've been through it, man. You've been through on many teams. And that first day of cuts, these guys, they was gone. With this madness, they pulled they gone. But yes. So we want to reintroduce our guest, former NFL player. He played for the Cincinnati Bengals, all right, amongst other teams. He also played in the CFL, Mr. James Hundon. All right. So, my brother, we're going to get right to it because I know we've been holding you. So just start off just telling us a little bit about your story, how you actually got into the league, you know what I'm saying, when you started and all that, when you played college ball and all the good stuff.
Gosh, it's an ironic story how I got into the league. So I'm originally from Daly City.
Okay.
Went to Jefferson High School. Didn't get any scholarships out of high school, so my coach sent me up to City College of San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
And, I had a pretty phenomenal summer, but they wanted me to basically not play that year because they already had a bunch of sophomores already that were, their star players. So
Right.
that was 88 when I graduated. So 89, I became a starter. Smashed in 89. I had a tumultuous career because after 89, I got hurt. That was the year of the earthquake.
Oh, that's right. That's right. During the World Series. During the World Series. I remember that. That was crazy. Yeah.
So we played Chabot the following week after, separated my shoulder in the game. And then from that point on, I was unsure of what I wanted to do at that time. I wandered off, tried to go to school, just, I just wasn't here mentally. Moved away for a while in Mississippi with an uncle, came back in 1992 and lit it up. I led the nation in yards per catch with 29 yards per catch, and that included all colleges.
Right.
Scholarship up to Portland State for the 93 season. I had to miss another year because Portland State was on the quarter system and City College of San Francisco was on the semester system. So some of my classes didn't transfer. I could have easily shut it down then, right? And in 92, I actually had two of my uncles pass away 5 days apart from each other. So I didn't want to play anymore, but my grandmother, she pushed me forward. So came back home in 93 for Portland State, went up there in 94, 95, killed it. And then next thing you know, I'm getting phone calls from the coach's office saying, hey, the Dallas Cowboys want to come work you out. Cincinnati Bengals is here. The Arizona Cardinals is here. So I worked out and I ended up running a 4.2940.
Wow. Crazy.
Super fast.
Olympic speed.
Yeah. I was up there. And it was just raw talent. I didn't really train. I was just naturally fast. But as I began to train, I did get faster. Draft day, April of 96, 7th round comes around, and it's between myself and a lineman that they're going to draft. And they called me and said that, we're going to sign you as a free agent. We're going to draft this lineman. And I started my career with the Bengals from 96 to 2000. Got released after 4 years, and then came back home to the Bay Area. They started the XFL.
Well, hold on. Let's take it back a bit, right?
Okay.
So you signed to the Bengals. How was that whole situation in the NFL? Because that's the highest league, right?
Right.
And so how was that whole, lifestyle change and things like that? How did that whole thing work out? Okay, you were there
so
4 years.
Right. That's a whole entity that the average American or sports fan would not understand unless you actually was, involved in that. So It was definitely a culture shock for me. Coming from Daly City, you go into this city that you've never been in, and it's automatic. It's pretty much set up for failure if you're not rooted and grounded.
Right.
The women are already there.
Okay. Yep.
You have the scam artist that's trying to take your money.
And when you say scam artist, you're talking about like the like what they call them again? The financial analysts, like those type of so-called trying to help you with your funds and all that kind of stuff. Right.
Exactly. Or you get somebody that approaches you with this business deal and they need X amount of money to start it, and so you get all thrown at you, right?
Right.
And then everything is basically political. So from that point on, you see, it is what it is. It's just like life. You have the players that are humble and will sit back and appreciate. It's only a small percentage. And I was one of them.
Right.
But then you had the others that married, but they do what they do, and just like life, like most people do.
Right.
And money, people that had money would do some of the outlandish things. Like they would make so much money and they would buy everything that they want. Like I had some people tell me like they were bored.
Right.
Because much money is like, well, what else could I buy? So they would just venture off and doing a whole bunch of other lifestyle activities,
Right.
But so from that side of it, let's flip to the business side of it. Very, very, very political. Over the years, I began to envision the combine and what we all trained for. We felt like we had to get there and had to be there. But then when I started looking at it and I started becoming wiser, I started viewing the combine as like a slavery process.
Oh, 100%.
Bring them in. You see how they dress them, right?
Right.
You know, so when they bring in the slaves, they get the big
Yes.
bucks here on the block, and you know where they're going to the field, and you get
Yep.
the ones that go out. And so as I got older and started thinking about it, I was like, man, it's like exploitation, you know.
100%. But let's roll with what you said. We're gonna show you a picture right now. Hey, post that picture because he hit it right on the head. Give me that second one, the one I sent to y'all earlier. It should be like the second one. It's in the admin. Post that up real quick so James can check this out. Y'all got it? Yay or nay? Oh, it's coming up. All right, perfect.
Bring it up.
Bring it up, please.
Bring it out.
Yeah.
Just bear with us, James. Very slow motion.
And I'm retired. I got number two.
There you go. All right. Thank you, James. But here it is right here. This is what you're talking about. Because look, you got this is basically the combine right here,
That is the combine.
Damn.
right?
That is the combine. So what brought, and I always felt that way as a player, but you know, when you don't know too much or anything, you're just happy to be an NFL player, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Colin Kaepernick was right, and I had a lot of respect for him and the way he demonstrated, and like, you know, with the pictures, right?
Right.
So I think back on it, I'm like, man, that is the same thing. It's
100%.
you measure them up to decide where you're going to place them.
Right.
So just because a person's built a certain way don't mean they'll be an offensive lineman. No, we're going to put you on the defense.
Right.
We're going to switch you from receiver to DB.
Right.
I mean, and whoever had the best athletic skills or the biggest buck or the strongest one,
That's right.
would in particular segments.
Right.
And they would go to particular teams or the people that had the most money.
So when you say particular, because sometimes, like you said, it's political, right? So a lot of times we'll look at the combine, we look at the draft, and we thinking it's just like a roll of the dice, like it just happens to work out a certain way. But what you're saying, that it's not really like that. It's more they're positioning things. They know what they're doing. They're placing certain guys in certain places.
So you're familiar with scouts?
Yes.
So the scouts, a certain team, or a lot of teams except for Cincinnati, because they use their coaches, they have a scouting department that goes out and they scout colleges and the different players all over the country. And then they come back with a list, and it's up to them to pick the best ones that they need or feel that they need that can help the team.
Right.
And then they bring in. So it's all a filtration process. You know, you bring this guy in, you bring that guy in, and then you determine the draft status. Well, who's the most outstanding athlete in the entire league? So to make it fair, you can't give it to the number one team.
Right.
Because they're already number one.
Right.
So you try to create a parity, you get that number one pick is going to go to
the worst team. Right.
Right. Right. So they try to create a parity to mix it up, but then I didn't realize that football was considered entertainment when I played.
I like that. You see that?
Growing up, it's a childhood dream.
Right.
You want to be in the NFL.
Yeah. Right.
That's all you care about.
Right.
But you get there, and then you begin to understand it and start seeing it's a business.
Yes.
It's fun in college and high school, but when you get to the NFL, any professional level, it is a business.
Right.
It doesn't become fun anymore.
Okay.
I can go to practice tomorrow and be traded.
Right.
Without a moment's notice.
That's right.
I
You got to
can go
pick
in
up your whole family, everything else, and be gone. Or sometimes not even pick up your family, leave your family, and then go to the new city and then come back home when everything is done. Which is crazy.
Yep. So it's, you know, and it doesn't allow the black athlete to create stability in a particular city.
Right.
So you get cut here, and you play for this team. In a couple of years, you play for another team. Now you done had your kids either moved all over the place, because there's some wives that, no, if you going to Baltimore, we going to Baltimore from Florida. Right. They're gonna move. Then you have some wives that, no, I don't want to uproot the kids. So, like, I've seen all that, and it causes I think it destabilizes the family, because now you have this going on, and then if this person's doing something, because trust issues, like it's
exactly.
Yeah, it's a whole different dynamic. And I was a 25-year-old rookie. I'm 53 now.
Right.
So just over the years, just building up my knowledge, my wisdom and my knowledge, and I suffer from the injuries, life after football, the PTSD, anxiety, stress, arthritis, glaucoma. I lost a lot of vision in my left eye, and you would think it kind of ties into the military. We do all this stuff for you. You should be able to take care of us in the end.
Right.
No, it's just like, we do this, blood, sweat, and tears, and then now when we need services or something, you get denied.
Yeah.
The NFL Players Association, or the trust, we had people on the board that really started fighting for us. So we do have some things in place that helps us out.
Okay.
Better than the other players that didn't have it. They should have had it a long time ago, but it's never just given to us. It's always a fight.
Always a fight. And the reason it's a fight, and because you said it, is because when you go back and look at sports from when it first started, it was always meant to be an entertainment thing, right? It's just that when you're the athlete yourself, because we all played sports coming up. We didn't. Well, some brothers have gotten to the NFL. We have a couple that's been in the NBA. Had what they would say, a little cup of coffee, like they say when you go up to the league real quick and you come back. And the thing is that you play, like you said, you playing your heart out because that's your dream. Then you get there and it's a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? It's an entertainment. We're gonna read something for you real quick, and then we want to show you something. And I'm going to get to the part of where you talk about the injuries and how the league, how you got to fight for what you want out of the league, because when it was built, it was only built for entertainment for the owners, really. I mean, for all the people who's watching, and then the owners to make certain money, and they weren't thinking about the players. But over the years, after it was so much money from advertising, what are you going to do? You got to pay you know what I mean? You got to pay the players to want to actually be in the league. Right. You know what I mean? Because previous to that, the NFL, all of those players probably were playing baseball or playing whatever was making money. And so the NFL had to do something to get those players in, But
what all it goes all the way back to?
What's that?
The Roman Empire.
Oh, hey, bruh. Hey, listen, you on it. Yeah. You are on it. We about to read this for you right now. Watch this. This is in the Bible. We're going to show this. Give me y'all 2 Maccabees chapter 4. Oh, man, that's beautiful, bro. I'm glad you understand that. Because that's exactly where it goes back to. And we're going to pull up a couple pictures for you, ancient from those times, from our people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 12. For he gladly built a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
Right, so this is back the time when the Greeks took over. Right. And now they started what was known as those gyms, those places of exercise. Right. And at that time, they had to do it naked. It was nude. You know what I mean? That's how the whole thing started. So even when you go in the gym and everybody's dressed like the sister, women are dressed scantily clad. They don't got much. That's the spirit. That's why it was always like that. We shouldn't even be confused. Like, I wonder why they're dressing like that. That's how it was meant to be. All right. Read on.
Now such was the height of Greek fashions, an increase of heathenish manners.
Right. It says the increase of heathenish manners because our people weren't doing that. It was introduced to us. Right. Yes. And then we started doing it. Right. Go ahead.
That the Now such was the height of Greek fashions, and increase of heathenish manners, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest.
Go ahead.
That the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar.
Right. So those priests, they left the altar. They said, we ain't going to be priests no more. We about to go play sports. Go ahead.
But despising the temple.
Go ahead.
And neglecting the sacrifices.
Go ahead.
Hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance. In the place of exercise.
In the place of exercise. Go ahead.
After the game of discus.
After the game of discus. So you know in the Olympics, now we part of the discus, track and field. This was one of those sports at the time. Go ahead.
Not setting by the honor of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Stop right there. But liking the glory of the Greeks best of all, like you said, the Roman Empire. Our people started to love that, the adulation of all the people screaming and, oh, this guy's great. He's a great player. They said, to hell with the Bible. They said, we ain't keeping no laws of God no more. We're going to go play some sports. We leaving that alone, right? So brother, you had something you want to bring up?
Go ahead. Finish it.
Yeah.
I do want to point something out, though. Go ahead.
Okay, point it out while we pull this stuff up.
You see how earlier, James, where he said they made him put on hats, right? What's the first thing they give a brother when they get drafted?
Mm-hmm.
They give him a hat.
That's
give
right.
him a hat. The Bible is the Bible is saying that and giving you the
That's
real,
beautiful,
man.
bro.
For real.
As soon as you get drafted, I don't care what sport you in, they hand you a hat. You know what I mean? And that thing come down, everybody happy as hell. I'm now a Bengal. You know what I mean? And everybody happy. You know? Hey, bring up the go ahead, James.
I own you now.
There you go. That's that's right.
Next 3, 4, 5 years that you sign this contract until I decide I don't want you.
That's right.
Right?
That's
But
real
now-
talk. Because you as the player can't get out of the contract right there. The team has to want to trade you somewhere until after that's done, and then maybe you can pick your team, whoever might want to pay you, you know? But bring up those files that we have from the ancient statues and all that stuff.
Or don't forget, or the next master of the next team
Right.
may do a trade.
Oh, that's right.
See, and now we may have something that you want because we've been wanting that one in the first place anyway.
Right.
So we'll give you 2 for that one.
That's right. But
We get a draft pick for next year.
that's right. But that's just like how the slave trade was. When you think about it, when they would trade between plantations,
Mm-hmm.
they would do that, right? I need 2 women. They give them 2 women, and they give them probably a kid, a young child,
Right.
and they'll switch off. This is the same thing, you know. But we look at it like, okay, and we love sports, so we like seeing that. Oh, hey, we need him. If we just put this in a package, we all into it.
Yeah.
We start to get all into it, but we have to look at things for what they are, you know. And we know this is a great way for our people to make a living, but what's the purpose of making this big living when you can't do anything with the money? We can't get together. We don't build things, you know. But I got to show you this.
Okay.
Man, yeah, show me. Pull up the one with the gladiators. The next one, the one with the writing on it with the text. All right. See if you can make it a little bigger so we can read that.
Yeah, can y'all?
Can you see that, Matthias? Or is
Yeah, I
it
can see
foggy?
it. Yeah, I can see it.
All right, read that, please.
Okay. Bizarre games for gladiators. Hail, Emperor! Those who are about to die salute you. With this solemn address, the gladiators scheduled to fight filed past the imperial box. Most of them were prisoners of war, slaves, or criminals sent through stern training schools.
So listen, look at that. They actually sent them to training school, right? So the same thing with us. What we do, we go to college, right? And we learn how to play the game properly, right? They build our bodies, put us on a program, make sure you're getting the right amount of protein and getting you strong and ready. This is the same exact thing.
Hey, Cap, and then before the season, training camp.
That's right. And you got
weeks of training camp.
Yep.
Same thing.
Getting you ready for the games, for the show, right? Go ahead.
Cap, even they got the AAU system too, went from a child and Pop Warner.
Oh, yeah, Pop Warner. They start you early. And that's what the scripture said. It said they started them at their youth to bring them up. And go ahead, bro. Read that.
Okay. The night before they had been feted at a lavish banquet where fans came to eye favorites and gamblers to estimate odds.
Now, you heard that? Now, back then, even in the Roman Empire, they had gambling on games. The NFL is the biggest. That's the biggest thing when it comes to the NFL is the gambling of the games. That's the whole point. That those games on Sundays, all of the what you call it, the odds, the spreads, the spreads,
odds makers,
right? The odds makers and all of that, and the fans come, they check it out. Okay, I'm gonna put money on it. This is the same exact thing. Nothing ever changed. It literally stayed from here and came all the way into now. You can't make it up. Read on. Go ahead, Matthias.
Okay. Now, in the stands, peddlers hawked cold drinks.
What?
Buns and sausages.
You hear this? They were selling beer, hot dogs, right? Beer here. Get those hot dogs over here. Get your Bud Light. This is
Greek mustard.
This is amazing. This is amazing, and this is in a book that I believe I can't remember what was the name of this book again. The Illustrations of the Holy Bible or something like that. I can't remember, but this is talking about something that actually happened. So here we are reading about the ancient Colosseum, the same thing going on today in our stadiums right here. All right, just read the rest of it.
The more usual the contest, the better.
The more unusual.
Oh, the more unusual the contest, the better. The Romans liked it. Gladiators often fought with mismatched weapons.
Right.
Negroes, a rare sight in Rome.
Now it says Negroes, a rare sight in Rome, which is not true. There were many, many Negroes in Rome, right? Because our people were all up and through there, right? Go ahead.
Were matched with each other.
They were matched with each other. Same thing today, right? All of look at football. It's 85, 90%. If they want to say African American, right? Black. This is what it is. We've always been the top athletes to go against each other for the entertainment of these people. Read on.
A dwarf might be pitted against a woman. A superb fighter became a popular idol and might even win his freedom. But if a gladiator who had made a poor showing fell, the crowd shouted, "Cut his throat."
Cut him off the team. That's what it is today, right? When he's trash, you know what I'm saying? Or he had a bad season, they're like, hey, listen, get him out of here. Don't all the people call into the team, like, get him out of here. Yeah, you can't make it up. But you was going to say something, James? Go ahead.
I said they will do that after a game or two.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They do a lot of money. He's a bum. Get him out of here.
Yeah. The NFL is brutal. I think the NFL is probably the most brutal out of all the sports. There's like no conscience.
The fans are worse. If I had $1 for every stadium that I went into that wasn't my home stadium.
Right.
The derogatory comments and remarks that was thrown my way by fans and the opposing teams on the field.
Really?
I've been called the N-word.
Oh, you can say the N-word on here.
Well, I've been called a nigga on there. I was called a spool.
Damn.
You name it, and I think God gave me some very, very good patience and wisdom, because what I would do is I would take that and I would internalize it, and then I would talk to myself, said, I'll show you what a nigga can do.
Right.
And then I through and I would do my thing. And then after that, it's like game over. Now at the end of the game, you know, I would go shake your hand. Oh, you don't want to shake a nigga hand? Okay. And then, but I was very careful about it. But you know, those are the things. You would get punched in the huddle and hit you in the nuts.
Oh yeah.
Kick you. Like, yeah. But you guys do know this. When football and sports first started, when it was predominantly white, there was no entertainment there. It was like, okay,
that's right.
Cool. Once the black athletes started coming in,
that's it.
Started dominating. They was like, wait a minute. Well, we need a couple of them on our team now.
That's right.
And that integration started because we can make money off of them. Well, just like slaves when they was bringing them in, make money off of them.
That's right. And it's funny you say that. And I'm gonna let you jump in there. When the NFL started, right? They had black players even when they very first. This is back in the 1920s. In 1926, they stopped with the black player, right? They stopped. You know, they got some heat coming because baseball was around at that time. They wasn't having no black players, so they stopped for 20 years. Then after when World War II was going on, and you know our people was over there fighting. Then, but like you said, now they know that the black athlete, especially in football, was another story, bringing complete speed and changed the whole game. Every sport was like that, even baseball. When they started putting us in it, the whole thing changed, right? And basketball, forget about it. So in 1946, that's when they started bringing the black players back. That was 1 year before Jackie Robinson in for the Dodgers. So they had already, but they still waited because what? They was having a lot of problems. Well, they probably talked to each other and said, listen, when we bring these niggas on the field, wait till you see the people that's going to be in that crowd. Wait till you see the money coming in. You know what I mean?
Now, mistaken, Babe Ruth was he was black.
Oh, see, now you want to bring out the controversial topic. Who we was talking? We was just talking about that. That was you, right? Yeah. We were just talking about it because I told them that years ago. This is back in the 90s, and they had this thing called baseball. That was the name of the documentary, and they had a whole segment on just the Negro leagues. But I'm walking through my living room. I look and I see somebody with wavy hair. You know how they used to rock their hair to the side and all that? Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's one of the brothers. When I come back in, that was Babe Ruth. I said, Babe Ruth, what? So I sat down, and they said that when Babe Ruth was playing, the other players used to call him nigga.
Damn,
so I was like, why they calling him nigga for? This don't make no sense. But then you find out that his mom, and he can remember they put him in a foster care after a while. So somebody up in there is black. And that's how come when you look at his numbers, when he started hitting 60 home runs, everybody else was hitting like 15.
Right.
He was somewhere. He was on another planet. You know what I'm saying? But they knew that's how they bring our people into the game. When we come, everything come with it. You know what I'm saying? But there's issues, obviously, in the professional sport. You was going to say something, bro? Okay. Yeah, but go ahead, James, if you had something.
You know, so, yeah, Babe Ruth was black, but because of his skin color, they kind of passed him along as one of them.
Right.
So they didn't want to say, okay, well, but even though they were still calling out his name, but they loved him like their own.
You know, it's funny because I saw a lot of pictures of him in Harlem and a lot of pictures of him with the brothers. And, you know, he used to be the only white cat so-called wearing a fur coat and all of that. Because, you know, that was our thing with the fur coats and the cars and all that. He was the only one of them doing that. Where that was a natural thing for us, like Jack Johnson and all the brothers. As soon as they get a little money, they throw the fur coat on. They had that car with the open top. Remember the old school car with no top. You know what I mean? So, but again, we were being exploited in that, and I think one of the things we wanted to talk to you about as well is the ownership of teams. Right now, they got us as just players, obviously, right? But the actual ownership of teams, our people don't really get a chance. Now, this is it's not happening, right? So it's showing you the racism and everything behind the whole thing. You know, you got a guy like Jay-Z pretending like he's some kind of big time owner, right? He's in there probably, I don't know what he owns, 1% of something or whatever he got going on, and no shade to him or whatever, but it's the reality. You know what I'm saying? That they have us as slave, as property. And then once we're property now, we can't even combine our monies together. Like, what is all of the big players? How come they can't come together and build schools?
Right.
You know what I mean? After all of this, all of these great players we had in the NFL, all these professional sports, and nobody can put their money together. We were better off when we had our own league, like the Negro leagues. Yeah. But go ahead, James. I'm gonna let you.
So what I've heard and paid attention to is this: a black man, a Negro, a nigga that makes a lot of money, they will pay you all the money in the world. Of course, you know, you have to give up a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Probably got to give up your soul or whatever.
Right.
But one of the other things is you cannot use your money to help anybody else come up.
Damn.
Right.
And I heard, and also, like I said, I heard that from somebody, and it makes sense because I always used to question, man, this dude just got like $100 million contract.
Right.
And well, let me give you the perfect example. Let's just get off the football.
Okay.
Mayweather.
Oh man, damn.
Has tons of money. How many times have you heard about him doing anything to help somebody else out unless it has something to do with him making more money?
Right. It's sad. I think the only thing I heard from him is like when he does like little giveaways with book bags and stuff like that. But Floyd Mayweather's an individual. He needs to be building a whole school system. The man is literally a billionaire.
That's not substantial, like like putting grocery stores or jobs in the community or something.
Thank you.
You know, he giving away stuff.
Right.
You know,
and that's even a good one. I didn't even think of that. Like a supermarket.
Because it's donated.
Right.
Tax write.
So
exactly.
You know, you're not getting no money. So these people that do these big contracts, I mean, like I have the utmost respect for Warwick Dunn when he played.
Oh, yeah, Warwick. Yeah, I remember him.
He started buying them houses.
He started buying houses for single mothers and things like
that.
Yeah, I remember
a few hundred houses. Like, you don't hear that.
No.
Anymore.
Yeah, it's not being done.
No, they have to have foundations and do this, something for the kids. They'll donate here, they donate there to get this money to come in. But you don't hear anything about nobody going back to their community and rebuilding the rec center that they grew up in that's really crappy now, you know, or you know, buying up property, you know, in your community before these companies come in and buy them up and tear them down.
Right.
You know, have the opportunities to do that, and you don't. And
you know why, James? Because at one point in time, that was popular. Now, what's popular is just me. No matter what,
right?
I'm the one that's gonna move up. You stay down, nigga. Let me get up. Give me Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 9.
Crabs in the bucket.
Exactly, James. Crab in the bucket mentality. Yes, sir. Give me that.
Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 9.
Come on.
The wise men are ashamed.
The wise men are ashamed to do good in the community now. The men that we think to be wise, the ones we think the people to be wise that got the money, the cars, and the fame. Now they ashamed to do anything for their people because why? That white man is going to snatch that stuff from them. Come on.
They are dismayed and taken.
They are dismayed at riches and taken over by this so-called American dream. Read.
Right.
Lo, they have rejected the word of the Lord.
You see that? They rejected the word of the Lord because the word of the Lord permits us to gather together, take care of one another, love the community, love your people. But when they taken over by this American dream and everything that they put out for them, they don't care about that no more. Read.
And what wisdom is in them?
There is no wisdom in them.
Right.
There is no wisdom in them because if one had wisdom, everybody else around us, they take the money and then they put it back into their communities. They put their kids through college. The black man, we looking for a damn Range Rover, a damn Maybach, a damn Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
We giving all of our money that we earn back to them. That's why it says in verse 9, what wisdom is in them? Not none. Read.
Therefore will I give their wives unto others.
Come on.
And their fields to them that shall inherit them.
Ooh, come on. Watch this.
Every one of them, for every one from the least even to the greatest is given to covetousness.
That's the problem. Right. Everybody from the least of us to the greatest of us is given over to covetousness. We all want what somebody else got. We all want what we see on the big screen and on the TV. When that don't lead up to nothing but death, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And yeah, I mean, and that'll take you into First Timothy's, you know what I'm saying, 6. Yep. Right? Because we get caught up with the money and we know obviously we want to make money in life. You know, you go to work, you go to school to get a good job, whether it's a lawyer, attorney, engineer. If you're able to become a professional athlete, all right. We understand there's good money in that. At the same time, you have to be able to make it work for the family. If you're going to make Not just your family, but everybody else, right? Because what you going to do, you got guys with extreme talent, LeBrons and all these guys making, like you said, hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think LeBron put a school together, didn't he?
Yeah, he built the
Yeah.
I Promise
Yeah.
Foundation.
Is that school still around? I don't even hear anything. They said that all the kids were failing. Why would something like that be happening? How could LeBron schools be failing? That's outrageous, you know? But again, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they're lying. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they just don't want his school to succeed, right? But read that real quick, 1 Timothy 6, before I bring up this other thing. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
Right. Because when the money comes, right, they fall into that temptation and snare to do what? Do whatever master's saying to do, right? It becomes a trap for them because now they're not able to facilitate and build for the community. Go ahead.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
Like you said, the brothers who are out there, they're married or whatever, but what they doing? They still dabbling with the other women they meet in every city, right? Because they're young men. They know what's going to happen. So they put these things in front of you, right? They put you in every situation where you're going to be doing some folly and some foolishness, separating you from your money, like you said, right? Now you got 10 million. You're like, damn, this guy got a good idea. I might be able to make 100. Meanwhile, you drop the 10 with him, it's gone.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? He's absconded with your money. Go ahead, read.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Come on.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right, because when you first started, it was beautiful just to be a player and get your dream and get there. Then all of a sudden, now the money's there. Now you're like, damn, I need more. Now that covetousness, come on.
For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
Right, and they wind up piercing themselves or killing themselves with many sorrows. Right. Let me show you this from Negro leagues. Right now, this is when we had our own thing going on. Right, and we were separate, but it was good that way.
Right.
But at the time, we're also looking at the oppressor like, damn, they got it good over there. Meanwhile, they looking at us like, damn, they got all the players over there.
Yeah.
Right. But check this out. Hey, put up that thing with the Negro leagues. Go ahead, James. You gonna say something? Oh, sorry.
No, you're absolutely right.
Okay. Check this out. Read that real quick, bro.
Negro League ball players could, on average, make more money than those working in other professions.
So even back then, being a ball player was more, you made more money than being a regular worker in the street, right? Go ahead.
By the early 1940s, Negro League baseball was the largest African-American enterprise in the United States.
Now, notice that's when they started bringing in the black ball players into the major leagues and into the NFL in the 40s because what? The money over there was crazy. Yeah. Go ahead.
Bringing in annual revenues of approximately $2 million.
So that $2 million in today's time is like, I don't know, $35 million. But that's good for just a Negro League player without all of the bells and whistles that the major leagues had. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Read on.
This was due in large part to the dedication of the fans.
Right. So all of the brothers and sisters in the neighborhood, y'all can drop that. They would all come and support. Right. And I also heard what the owners would do. The owners would go around to all the stores in the neighborhood and everybody say, shut down for the day and make sure y'all are all there at the game to support. That was just in some sports and they were supporting each other. Now we can't even support each other in building a damn school for one another.
Right.
This is crazy. That's to show you where our mind is right now.
Everybody in competition.
So my opinion on that is if we go back into other parts of history, of the different black-owned communities that we had.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. No, you hit it on the head. Go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Right? They're bombed and destroyed.
That's right.
And they cause intimidation now. And then you have the ones where you go into these cities and wiped out the whole black race, the whole city.
You put them underwater.
Put them underwater. Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier. Oh man, it's beautiful.
So many different massacres. I actually saved it, looked it up.
Right.
And people don't realize how many massacres have gone through the United States.
We're gonna bring them up right. Hey, y'all brothers find that while James is talking. Go ahead.
You know why? My bad, James. You know why that they do that? Because they learn from their mistakes. They learn from their
Right.
mistakes. You see what happened when they let us rally together during the Dark Ages time. We took over everything.
Right.
We just don't learn from our mistakes. We keep on getting slapped upside the head.
Right.
We time steady chasing Jerry, getting our asses whipped.
Right. You know, but I'm glad you brought that up because you hit that right on the head, James, because that's really where I was going with it. So you jumped right in at the perfect time. Because when we had up all of these cities set up, our Wall Streets, right, like you had in Tulsa, but like you said, it was many more. You had Atlanta, you had Carolinas had one, and they destroyed all of them, all of our great neighborhoods, even in New York with Central Park, right? And they destroyed that. Right. So they always try to make sure that we stay down because, like the brother was bringing out, Officer Shem was bringing out, that in the Middle Ages or in the Dark Ages, we were ruling the Dark Ages, right? So after the time of the Greeks, when we were over there and all of that, and them times ended, then we took over Europe, right? So that we controlled Europe for about 1,000 years. We were known as the Moors, if you ever heard of the Moors. And we Germany and UK and Britain and all these different places. Spain, that was like one of the main places that was known for the Moors. So after they came into the Renaissance, their rebirth of white people, that's basically what the Renaissance means, right? Once they did that, they said, you know what? We can't ever let them get their own thing again, because once that happens, you're in trouble. And that's what happened. They said, oh, the Negro Leagues started blowing up, you know? And that was probably our only league per se. And I don't know if you noticed, but you know, we started hockey as well.
Yeah.
The hockey leagues. People wouldn't even know that because it's like a white sport. But
now it is, but yeah, you go back.
Right.
There was I can't remember the school, but it was an all-black hockey team.
Yes. And it started in Nova Scotia. That was the end of the Underground Railroad.
Yes.
Where the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, his family and all them, where they came up in Nova Scotia. And that's when we had that popping up there with the hockey league. I mean, come on, man. This is crazy, brothers. Go ahead. What you got? You got something?
I was thinking like I like the whole topic of the teams too, because you can relate that to nation, right? So if you look at like like the Warriors, and that's just what I know, right? The Warriors, some of those players, they got a lot of good players, and if they have the same goal like winning a championship, some of those good players will take a pay cut. You know what I'm saying, to win a ring because they got a certain goal in mind. Now when the players are not they don't have the same mind. Let's say you got 5 players on a team and they all just trying to get as much money as possible. They probably not gonna win that ring even though they got all the talent because they competing for stats. You know what I'm saying? They actually competing against each other, and that's kind of how we are as a nation. We don't have the same goal. You know what I'm saying? As bringing the nation back up, we just want to get our money,
right?
And that happens when you cut off from being a nation. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to get as much as we can, and we ain't helping nobody.
Right?
Y'all remember that movie Brewster's Million?
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
He had a lump sum of money that they gave him. Right? I think it was like $30 million.
No, it was $3 million. He had to spend $3 million in 1 month so he could get $30 million.
Right. But you remember what they said he couldn't buy? He couldn't buy no assets.
Yes.
He couldn't donate to his people.
Yeah,
he couldn't do no charities.
And
that's kind of what it reminded me of. You can only buy stuff with that.
Yeah, that's an excellent. That's excellent. Go ahead, James.
Actually, he had to spend $30 million in 30 days.
Oh yes, to get $300 million.
To get $300 million.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but like you said, he didn't have any assets. He couldn't own anything.
Right.
So
that was good.
That.
No, for real. That's unbelievable. Actually, I'm glad you know. And now, as a grown man, we could look at that like that. Before, when you young watching that movie, your mind is not even on anything like that. That was a good pickup.
Right.
To have no assets at the end of the day, once he was done spending his money, he was supposed to own nothing.
Damn.
And then he had to show that he owned nothing in order for them to give him $300 million.
Right.
So you can stay broke.
So the point is, you living big, but you're gonna be broke at the end of the day.
Damn.
And that was the mentality of that. That's what that movie was really about.
Right.
$100 million, because guess what? You give somebody $300 million, you're still going to control how they spend it.
No, oh man, you see that? Oh man, hey, this is a beautiful thing. Somebody drop a bomb or put the applause on or something. We just broke down Brewster's Millions.
You know?
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one,
Hey.
Julian James. That was real good.
Cap, and they still do it right here, right now, to this day. Because when you look at our people that's rich and famous, what woman do they have? They go straight after the white woman.
Right.
Then the
right.
white woman take half of everything they own.
Yeah.
Goes right back into the white man's pocket.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works, man. But we gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake up to knowledge, man. The real true knowledge of who we is, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cap.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I'll share something with you. I'm from Daly City.
Right.
Used to go to. I grew up in True Hope Church of God in Christ over there on 950 Gilman Avenue. So I was raised in the church.
Right.
So I had a pretty good foundation. And of course, you know, I get out, I do my football, and I do this, and I do that, and I get married, and that didn't work, and I do, you know, I'm just doing everything. And I can say to this day that I thank the Most High for keeping me in that right frame of mind to circumvent back to Him, because I've cut off a lot of people. There's a lot of things that He has shown me that has allowed me to tap into, like, the things that we've been talking about.
That's right.
And so now it really opens up my eyes. People say, "Oh man, you know, get woke, get woke." I said, "Get woke." Now, no, get woke spiritually. This physical
Right.
eyes see so much, but
That's
when
right.
you yourself from the distractions
Right.
and vials of the devils, you come back, and God will show you, literally show you, who's who, what's what, and what direction you need to go. The problem is with a lot of our people, men and women, is we decide not to follow because we still want to do our own thing. God gave us free will to do what we want, but we decide, well, we want to do this because it looks good.
Right.
But then they don't want to do that straight and narrow path. What was that scripture? Was that in Matthew?
Yep.
7,
Straight and
13.
narrow.
Yeah, let's get it real quick.
Path to righteousness, broad and wide, leads to
Yep.
destruction.
Yep.
So I had spoken years ago, part of the deacon team at the church. I did a message and I talked about that. And my illustration was, you have Main Street and then you have Broadway, right? Main Street, there's not a lot of stuff on Main Street. It's a pretty vanilla street. No distractions. It's just, you know, if you go straight down Main Street, you go long enough, you're going to reach your destination. You don't have to worry about any distractions. But when you get on Broadway,
Right.
I'm going to use street in San Francisco. You got the strip clubs, you got the bars, you got the prostitutes, you got the women, you got the drug dealers, you got the pimps, players, hustlers, and you're going down the street and everything is shiny and lights and it's a distraction.
Right.
So you're on Broadway, it's easy to venture off.
Right.
Now, some people that venture off, they'll go down a one-way street, and you go down a one-way street too far down that dark alley, you may not make it back out.
Right.
You
Right.
know? But if you stay down Main Street, well, Main Street don't have no alleys. It's just a
Right.
throughway. So that was my illustration, you know, leading to Christ, was stay on the Main Street, because there's nothing out there but death and destruction in Broadway. It's always a distraction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's
Yeah.
funny because it lets you know that the enemy understands that, right? Because they know that scripture, right? You got it?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna read what you just quoted. We're gonna read it real quick. I'm just gonna make a point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at that straight gate,
Right.
for wide is the gate, and broad is the way
Right.
that leadeth to destruction.
Right. So every time you go on a Broadway in any city, it's nothing but sin and madness on that thing.
Right.
Like I came up in New York, right? Broadway, if anybody know about Broadway in New York, it's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad. I lived on a Broadway actually when I was living in Manhattan. It was all bad.
Man.
Right? But that's how it is. And they understand that. So even on every Broadway in every place is going to be nothing but madness that you're going to bump into, right?
Yep.
I was getting ready to say something. I kind of made myself forget what I was going to say. But
But go ahead. To you.
yeah, oh yes. I know what I was getting back to. So when you were talking about the straight, right? And you at your church, hey, y'all got to understand who y'all are as a people. You know, we the Israelites, brother. We are the Jews that the Bible speaks of. You know what I mean?
I recognize that.
Right. And this is what, and a lot of times we go to a lot of Christian churches, we sit down with the pastors and talk with them because we're using the same exact Bible. We're using the same exact Bible. And we tell them, listen, this is who we are as a people. You know what I mean? We are the Jews that the Bible speaks of. So when we look at the Bible, we look at it as our book, right? For us, by us, like Fubu said, right? So, you know what I mean? So what's in there? You got your dietary laws, you got your civic laws, marriage laws, what I'm missing? Ceremonial laws, you know, and so on and so forth. And those are the straight paths that we have to walk. And when we walk that straight path, we're going to get there to Christ. And that's what the Lord said, you know, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. So even when, no matter what line of work we're in, we should be able to put that money together and say, hey, listen, we're going to build ourselves a little community. Why do we need to speak to anybody about something like that?
Right.
But like you said, Brewster's Millions, we all dealing with the Brewster's Millions complex.
Right.
Where they're saying, no, you cannot spend the money on your people over there. I need you to do this. Because they know once they spend 2, 3, 5 million, they're not going to get no more.
Right.
That's what happened with this guy, with Kaepernick. Not that he was spending a bunch of money, but once he made the stand, they already said, you know what? This guy's going to take our money and hurt us with our own money.
Right. They're not going to allow that. Yeah.
Right. You know, and they said, nah, hell no. You got something, bro? Oh, yeah. You know?
Hey, even with that Kaepernick situation, right? Read Ecclesiastes 7:7 because it's on my mind.
No, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Good. That's a good one.
Ecclesiastes 7:7 because what you were saying earlier about the fact that we get oppressed, right, James, and we on the bottom of society,
right,
and then we're trying to fix it. They understand that, everything you were just saying. But there's a second piece to it, why they give those big contracts or why they give the finances. So go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So if it was widely taught that the schools were destroyed, that they were training you from a kid, that this football system is not right, if that was the image they gave you, you wouldn't want that as an adult, right? So they don't push that. They know that if they push that, it would keep you from wanting to join the league. So what they do push, right, is this empire. Watch.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
When somebody gets a big contract, they put it right in the front of the news. $100 million contract, $200 million contract. They put the gift out there, and that makes you fall for the illusion. The oppression goes out the window. You throw that behind your back. You say, I'm going to get oppressed, but I'm going to make this money, right? I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be able to take care of mama. Mama's going to get a house. So the gift, they understand that destroys us as a people. It keeps us in this place of continuing to sin against each other.
Now, and you know what's crazy, right? Because if you've ever made a couple of dollars in your life, you all of a sudden don't see racism. No, I'm saying even as a black person, I'm being honest.
Not even.
You see the green.
Yeah, you see money. That's it.
On an NFL team,
right?
If on an NFL team, you wasn't a nigga no more.
That's the point. Right? You're not feeling like everybody else. You know what you're looking like? You saying, damn, they got to step their game up. They got to get it together. Now I know why they feeling like they against us. Because they don't got no money. Get some money, nigga. Then you're going to feel like a man like me. Right? But look at this. Just going back to the ownership. I want to read this. This was an excellent piece too. Yo, y'all, bring that thing up that I sent y'all. It's right under the it's in the admin, right underneath the picture of the lineman and the cotton picker. This is a great little piece of a book right here. Bring that thing up. Let me know when y'all find it.
Hey, and even with the there you go. Go ahead.
There you go. Go ahead, Matthias.
Black baseball becomes one of the more profitable businesses in some black communities. And it made a considerable contribution to an enclave economy composed of interrelated businesses. Yo, put it back.
What's going on? Oh my God, they crazy as hell. Go ahead, read it again, bro.
It made a considerable contribution to an enclave economy composed of interrelated businesses that succeeded in response to forced segregation.
You see that? So in response to us being segregated, we didn't sit back and say, could we get some welfare in Section 8? We didn't do that. We started the league, and then the league's money now went into the interrelated businesses, meaning what? They needed toilet paper for the bathrooms. They needed hot dogs. They needed everything else. So everybody who was bringing stuff for the stadium, everybody was making money, and the community was being built. That's what they were using their money for, to build each other. Hey, keep reading that thing.
The Black Kansas City Monarchs team would have people go around to the local businesses
There you go.
and ask them to close so that more people would attend games.
Go ahead.
It was really a big deal. And sometimes more people have no idea. And sometimes people have no idea of how important these games were to the economics of not just baseball, but to the community as a whole.
But the community as a whole, they always had everybody in mind. So this is us coming out of slavery, going into the black codes, Jim Crow, all of that, and we understood we needed each other. Families were stronger. A man needed his wife. He understood that. The wife needed her husband. The families grew together and they built businesses and they were strong together. Now, we barely see marriages. We can't have any businesses.
Yep.
You know, we break our families up with Section 8 and welfare. You know what I mean?
Cap, going back to Officer JDL point, a gift destroyeth the heart.
That's right.
That's what happened. We were gifted to be able to play with these white boys and these white girls.
Right. And
they snatched everything from us.
And that's chump change to them, right? And you remember the point was like the gift destroyed the heart, right? So it was never, like you said, they learned from their mistakes, right? So when they force segregation on us, we are forced to work together, right? So now, guess what? Let's let a couple of these Negroes in the league now, and now we feed them, and they never feed themselves again.
Right.
You
and
know
guess
what?
what? And they can't build their communities.
Yes.
That's the point of it, to stop it. You think they stopped just because we was the better ball players? They understood that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's why they took us in slavery, because they already knew we were physically more stronger than them, right? We got a brother here that has actual slave chains from Africa, right? When the Europeans came and put us in slavery, those chains that they had, the brothers used to break them. And the women was breaking the chains off.
Dang.
You can't make this up. This is written. So they had to take the iron that was in Africa and made the chains from there. That's the only thing that was holding us. That's how ridiculous we were at one time. You know what I'm saying? The sisters back then probably would beat us all up right now. You know what I mean? And this is what it was. So now once they saw we were helping ourselves, they said, no. Get them players over here. Let's make it look like this is really a thing. But the thing was to depress us and not make us be together anymore. You know? But go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Here's something that's, if you paid attention to, it's pretty deceptive.
Right.
The draft.
Okay.
I never understood why you pay somebody coming out of college who never played a down in the league,
right,
30, 40, $50 million contracts coming out. Okay. Now follow me. Then you draft all these other players, all the other brothers coming in. The illusion is, oh, hey, maybe I can make it playing a bunch of ball and doing X, Y, and Z. This is where the deception is. Now you got all these people focused on trying to make it to play football, but we're one of the most intelligent races in the world. So
there you go.
These people that are trying to play football, a lot of them are actually doctors and lawyers and scientists and other people that can help build the community.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised. Well, who's the basketball player for the Celtics? That's like an aerospace engineer. Like he's very smart.
We're gonna find him. No. You right about that. Because you had those brothers that especially matter of fact, I'm gonna say this, and this is no shade to none of the other sports, but in the NFL there was a lot of brothers who were very bright for whatever reason, and they had other things that they could have done. You know what I mean? But they played the sport because all the money was there. You know what I'm saying? Why would you leave $50 million on the table and go become a scientist for like say $300,000? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense financially, right? But when coming to help our people, you got to do that. That brings me into even with the brother Terrence Howard, the actor, right? I don't know if you saw his interview when he was talking about all his patents. The man has like 90-something patents.
Yeah.
And all of these other companies were building their stuff on it. Virtual reality was built on Terrence Howard's technology. You can't make it up. How would you have ever known that?
But do you remember?
Huh?
Remember how much he said he made in that movie?
Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. He made like no money, right? What he made? Like 5 G's?
30, something like that.
Yeah, he made no money. Meanwhile, all these companies are making trillions of dollars. They said literally billions of dollars being made on this man's technology. Billions. You're talking about even Raytheon, the weapons company, has a weapon based on this man's technology. You can't make it up.
It's Jaylen Brown on the Celtics.
Oh, Jaylen Brown. I had no idea. I thought Jaylen Brown was just a baller. You know what I mean?
You look him up. He just spoke at some big convention or some big company, and I sat there and I listened to him. You would never know he was a basketball player the way he spoke.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So there's and I've been on a team and teams with athletes, brothers that were very, very intelligent. That you sit there and have a discussion with them, and be like, man, you could be doing X, Y, and Z. I have one right now. His name is Chuck Reed.
Right.
He lives in Vegas now. I played with him. That man has his own cleaning business. He's cleaning some of the top hotels. All he got to do is take his laptop with him and make sure everybody's doing what they. He got people working for him.
Right. Right.
He had Hispanics and whites working for him.
Right.
That's his. But he always, when we played, he always had his laptop with him at practice because he had been working on this business plan.
Right. Yeah, he recognized that the football life wasn't going to be but so long, you know, because generally, even you spent 4 years in the NFL. That's actually more than the average. No, but people would think that you know you spend your whole life in there. You got this whole glorious, but that's only some people. You know what I'm saying? That's only some. The average NFL player is really 3 years. It's a very, very tough place to be. You know,
and you don't make much money. You do.
Right.
Somebody look it up. So find out what they make in the practice squad now. Because when I came in and was on the practice squad was $50,000.
Right.
I'm making about $250,000 now just being on the practice squad.
Yes, exactly. I remember, and them kids know all them numbers. Because I remember my son was telling me that, all I got to do this and do that. And if that don't work, I'll get hit the practice squad. I was like, practice squad? Yeah, they making money on the practice squad. I said, damn.
Okay. Let me add to the other hook, line, and sinker. NIL deals now.
Oh, the NIL deal. What is that? Explain.
It's continuing to destroy the Black community, in my opinion, because now you have kids 8th grade going into high school that already have NIL deals.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. The sponsorships from the games, the video games and all that stuff.
They can't touch this money, but their parents. So now you're going to cause some problems within the family because if the mom and dad has control over this money until a certain age, and you know a lot of our people and money. Yeah, they'll go good. It's going to cause so many problems, and it bothers a lot of players like myself because when we were in college, if somebody found out that alumni took us to dinner, they could take our scholarship. Yeah. Now you players money and you pay them.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think they should have been getting paid because, especially in college, right? The bigger colleges, they're doing what? They signing deals with the networks for millions and millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. The coach of the college team is making millions of dollars. He's getting paid what the NFL coach is getting paid. That's true. Right, probably more because he don't have to pay the players. So to me, if you in college, I'm not saying you need to make NFL money, but you need to get something because they're using you. You know what I'm saying? They got money coming in. It's just like how even if you're in the science programs in college, right? They're getting money from the government based on the ingenuity and everything of those youngsters coming in and creating all types of stuff in science. That's where they're getting that money from. It's something similar to that, but in sports, the people been taking advantage of so much. I mean, when you look at the Olympics, the same thing, right? The Olympics, they making billions of dollars. And speaking of the Olympics, we got to show you something, bro. Speaking of the Olympics, hey, bring up that video real quick.
I think that's what you're going to show me. And if it's what I think you're going to show me, that turned my stomach.
Bruh, we're going to show it for everybody who might not have seen it. Because honestly, if I didn't even see this, I didn't even know the Olympics started. I had no idea the Olympics started, right? Hey, pull up that video and start it at I gave y'all the times, 2:17 to 2:32. You may have to throw up the disclaimer because we're using it on somebody else's video. Yeah, this was real crazy, y'all. If y'all remember the Olympics, it was a very family-oriented thing to watch. You get up, you watch the boxing, you watch track and field, the gymnastics or whatever. You know, it's just a nice thing for the family. You watch, hey, you know, whatever. Now, it has become something else. We're just waiting for this video. This is unbelievable.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Hey, bring it back to 2:17.
What's this guy?
Hey, cover these kids' eyes, even though these kids is 20.
Blue Edomite.
You put it to 2:17? Because that don't look like it. Oh, my God. All right, so play it then.
Yeah, and by the way, if you, I don't even want you to zoom in. Yeah. But if you watch this, the guy on the left. Next to the kid. Yeah, if you
She has a beard.
Look at this.
go back a little bit, Rob, rewind a little bit.
Bruh.
What the hell?
Okay,
Bruh.
go, half a second.
Look.
Okay.
What?
Y'all can pause. Y'all can pause it. I just wanted y'all to see what's going on here. Bring it back a little. I want y'all to see. So supposedly, all of these is transgenders, right? And they were supposedly mocking the Last Supper, right? Now, we don't care about that mocking. That Last Supper that was painted, that ain't no real Last Supper. But the point is they're trying to make a joke about it, whatever. But look what they're showing the kids. This is sports. What this got to do with sports? But this has a lot to do with sports. It got a lot to do with sports. And it goes back to the Greeks and the Romans. I'm going to show you something. Now I'm going to show y'all what was back in the Roman Empire. Check this out, James, real quick before you. Well, I'm going to let you do your thing. But I got to show you this. Bring up that one picture out of the book with the gymnast.
Got a grand auntie.
It should be right under the one with the boxers, the ancient boxers. I want y'all to bring up when it's a gymnast.
Stuff like this, why we need to stand up and come back to who we is, man.
Right.
Exactly.
This type of stuff right here is vile.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting. The Lord called that a vile affection, man. And this is why we got to come back, and it's going to take us as a community to bring this stuff back to our people.
Right.
Because as long as we stay African Americans or blacks or Negroes or niggas and spics or whatever derogatory term that they call us, this is the type of stuff we got to look forward to.
Right.
We ain't going to never, ever, ever come up out of this oppression truly until we start keeping the commandments as the Israelites.
Right, because we're going to know already we got our own community. Something like that's not going to happen. We ain't even going to allow that. That's madness. Hey, did y'all find that thing yet? All right, blow that up, man. Look at the brother on the right. Remember with the thing we read before, James? Remember the thing we read before where it says Negroes were rarely seen in Rome? That's a damn lie. You see the guy on the right? That's a gymnast. And look, he's naked. Booty out. Booty all the way out. Guess what's on the other side? Running around.
Mm-hmm.
This is what was going on in the Olympics.
Damn.
Wow.
All right, and in the Coliseum. Look, hey, blow it up to the one to the left. They said Negroes were rarely seen. That's what we told you is a damn lie. Right here, this is a chariot race going on, and it's a brother who's racing. The other guy is a white dude, a Roman, and he's trying to, whatever, straighten him out. But the brother who's driving the chariot, they had chariot races. It's a brother. So our people were always the entertainment, but I just wanted to show you how lewd the Olympics and all the sports was back then. So when we're looking at it today and saying, hey, this is foul, in reality, this is what it was always meant to be.
It was always
going back to
from
their
the
nature.
beginning.
Yeah,
Even those words at the bottom tell you that it was a Negro, right? It says profile, tight, curly hair, close to head, broad, flat nose, thick lips. That's a Negro.
No, 100%.
Sure.
That's why they just don't come out and say Negro. They're trying to give the attributes so we can, I wonder who that is.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
What the hell?
The Olympic ceremony.
No way.
Come on.
Torch to transgenders.
Right. Now, it's madness because not only that, but did y'all see that they had a man who's so-called a woman now, he was boxing a woman.
Yeah.
The woman quit.
Right. He beat her up, right? Now, in any other place, that's known as domestic violence.
Yep.
Right? If he would have killed her in any other country, that's known as femicide. but in the Olympics, it's called sports. And they said no because we did a test. We did a testosterone test. When have you ever? When have they a testosterone test? What are you talking about?
Right.
Are you a man or a woman? That's it.
That's it.
Now all of a sudden we got to test you to see how much of a man you are.
All right. You
How
got the
much-
right levels.
A macho man.
The boxer's name is Damain Khalif.
Right. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Remember Sha'Carri Richardson. There was a few other people.
Right.
If you go back in history of why they couldn't perform based off of they couldn't go to the Olympics because of one mistake, but then they show one white guy that raped somebody.
Yes.
Was supposed to time did 1 year and he participated in the Olympics.
That's right.
It's like throw it in your face, in our faces.
Yes.
You know why? They know that we're not going to do anything.
Exactly. Because you know
We'll
what?
march and we'll yell and we'll scream, and then we go back to the 9 to 5.
Yeah. Because we're just happy with having our little money. Because at the end of the day, we don't have that community.
Yeah.
And had we had that community built, like how I was saying with the Negro Leagues, and they built out all of those neighborhoods, and they would have left us alone with our little Wall Street, Black Wall Streets, and all that, we would have never needed them for anything. When you read the history on that, we were doing business internationally from those Wall Streets. It wasn't like we was just amongst ourselves. We were doing international business. That's why they went and they smashed us and smashed the towns. Remember, they didn't want to live with us, but they didn't want us to be by ourselves either.
We won't do ourselves either.
Right.
Yeah, they seen that we could sustain without them.
Exactly. Because we've always done that through history. But that wouldn't go with the story of them bringing civilization to us. They didn't bring any civilization to us.
Right.
When you read, there's a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. All right. And when we were brought over here in slavery from the west coast of Africa, we were brought from other places as well, Spain and different places. But from the west coast of Africa, they said that they went after certain people. They went after our people, the ones who knew science, the one who knew mathematics, and agriculture, masonry, all of that. Those are the ones they were going after. They wasn't in the deep recesses of Africa pulling out somebody who was drinking blood, like, and then they taught them. No, that's not what it was, because they didn't even know how to do anything. So they brought us over here. Exactly. You know,
they couldn't do it. They didn't have the resources to do it.
No, they did not.
But they got us to do it.
That's right. And
go back. So here's another interesting fact about sports and the deception. So you do realize the NCAA,
right?
Do you know everybody that's on that NCAA board? None of them have played sports.
That, you know what? I'm not even surprised.
And all of them make about $200,000, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. But highest paid person makes about $200,000 a year, and all that money is being facilitated for them to so-called control the league. It's a money thing. It's a monopoly.
Right.
NCAA shouldn't even exist.
Right.
Because if that's the case, why don't you include black colleges?
No, but why should they do that? So they can win all the time? Because, see, no. Because
that's true.
Because what Deion Sanders did, right? He did a great thing when he went down to go coach, right? He went to go coach one of the, I think it was Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Right? He went to Jackson. Kids were leaving the major schools, a couple kids, to go down and play for him in the HBCUs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was going to happen was that was going to happen all over. Everybody was going to go to the HBCU. That would have turned the tide. I remember there was a white coach. I think he was at Tennessee. I want to say Tennessee. And he, not a coach, but he was one of the administrators. And he actually came out and said, but if all the kids are leaving, then where's that going to leave? It's going to leave you in the dust. That's where it's going to leave you at. Where you supposed to be. What the hell you mean where it's going to leave you? But this is what it is. They don't want that to they need to leave it status quo, because all the money is going to go into the black colleges. And guess what? Now all the engineers, all the scientists, all the doctors, because that money ain't going to just go for no sports now. It's going to go throughout and proliferate throughout all of the different aspects of our education.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's not, it always looks like sports, but just like that article said, it built out many interrelated businesses and interrelated educational systems for our people, obviously, if it goes to the colleges, you know? But go ahead, James.
college right now, a lot of these black colleges are so old and ran down, they don't have no money.
Right.
But these white schools do.
Oh,
so if everybody to the left and money would have been poured into the black colleges, the
Right.
HBCUs.
Right.
Oh my. But yeah, I've heard about some conditions at these schools. It's just not updated, so on and so forth. But it leaves an oppressed state. It doesn't stop the smart ones from getting through and coming out. But
Sure.
imagine if a Spelman or a Howard or Bethune-Cookman had the type of money to be the size of Alabama, Tennessee,
forget it.
USC, man. But they don't want that because they know all the greats come out of there and take over it.
Exactly. Then you're going to have the white students getting into the black schools on minority scholarship.
Right.
Man, they do that. $5 Indians.
I am black now. You know what I mean?
On
they're
my
gonna be doing the
mother's side.
Right. They're going to be doing a Kamala Harris. I'm black today. I mean, I'm Indian. Matter of fact, hey, y'all know Kamala Harris's brother, because she went to Howard, I think.
Yeah, she did.
She went to Howard, and her brother went on a scholarship being black, right? But also, and the reason, and I know a lot of people might say, well, she is black, but her father, which is, yes, he's from Jamaica, right? And he presents as Indian, but his fathers are white. And they had slaves and everything. Like, this is this is technical. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up for you, bro.
Pull it up.
Oh hell no!
Hey, and why you bringing that
Yeah,
up,
go ahead.
Cap? You know, they just don't want us to have a real image, right? But technically speaking, they're gonna give you a hard pill to swallow. Technically speaking, if they gave it to us, we'd squander it anyway. Because we don't have no value. We don't know who we are. We don't value each other, and all we gonna do is spend it on 24-inch rims. So at the end of the day,
no, they went up to 26s now.
Oh, 26. Damn.
Come on.
Damn. That's what we gonna spend it on.
Right.
Why? Because we don't have no knowledge.
Right.
What's the knowledge we missing? Hosea 4:6.
That's right.
Let me get that, man. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
And they get Proverbs 3:31 afterwards.
Yes.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Come on.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
The Lord say our people is destroyed for the lack of knowledge. What's the knowledge that we lack? The God's law.
Mm-hmm.
God's law is the wisdom that we lack. Loving our neighbor. What the hell happened to the color? Loving our neighbor as you love yourself is how is what we lack. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
You see that knowledge that we reject, God's knowledge caused him to reject us. Now, that's why you see so many single-parent households.
Right.
That's why you see so much black-on-black violence. That's why you see so many abortions in our communities, because we don't have the knowledge of God's law, statutes, and his commandments. Why? His laws, God's law, statutes, and commandments govern us to treat each other a certain type of way. It tells you how to live amongst your people and have peace while doing it.
Right.
But that's why we don't have no peace, because we lack the common knowledge of Leviticus 19:17. We lack the common knowledge of Hebrews 13:4. We lack. Man, I can go all day with this.
That's right.
Hey, bring that thing up real quick. That article, real quick. I don't know. He did something with the camera.
And the sad part is, a lot of times we feel that the only way we can get peace and receive peace, we got to separate ourselves from our own people.
Oh, hey, no, absolutely. Hey, no, that's 100%. That's 100%.
For real.
Right, right. The swirl is on. Yo, hey, while they getting there, pull up Sirach 27:1. Watch this.
Damn.
I know that too.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 1.
Like you said, because we have to, we turn away from our people. Go ahead.
Many have sinned for a small matter,
Mm-hmm.
and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away.
Right. So we seeking for that abundance. We're going to turn our eyes away from what? From loving our people, from keeping them commandments and doing the right thing, because we know, damn, if we show too much love, we're not going to get what we're looking for. We got to be able to present to the oppressor that we're just looking for money, man. We just looking to come up. We're not looking to bring our brothers along. You know what I mean? And this is an issue, right? Because we envying our oppressor, like the scriptures say. Proverbs 3:31. Before we bring up that article.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
That's it. We tend to envy our oppressor. Because what they call that again, when you get kidnapped and then you get used to the kidnapper?
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. That's what we're in right now. We've been here so long under this man's rule that we just following everything he does. But the Lord said, envy thou not the oppressor. Come on.
And choose none of his ways.
And don't choose his ways, right? We know we got to work with everybody, but we don't have to behave like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to now turn ourselves away from not dealing with our people. There's no reason for that.
That's right.
Hey, brothers, you got the article? All right, bring it up real quick. It's going to be a quick thing we're going to read real fast. No, not that one. I just sent you something. We were talking, y'all got to pay attention. We were talking about Kamala Harris and her supposed blackness.
Trump said, when did Kamala become black?
Right. All right, check this out, y'all. Okay?
Yeah, take that out. Okay.
There you go. Read.
Kamala Harris is a descendant of an Irish slave owner in Jamaica.
Damn.
Yo, read the Jamaican thing there. Go ahead.
You gotta read it, man.
Presumptive Democratic nominee and U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has Irish roots, but not in a way that she is likely to embrace. Miss Harris is the daughter of Donald J. Harris, who was born in Jamaica, and Shamala Gopalan Harris from India. Genealogical research carried out by Northern Irish historian Stephen McCracken reveals Miss Harris's four-time paternal great-grandfather Hamilton Brown was born in Co-Antrim in 1776, the year of the U.S. Declaration of Independence.
Scroll down. Let's go.
Brown immigrated to Jamaica, then a British colony, and became an
enthusiastic slave owner.
Damn.
An enthusiastic slave owner.
That means he was happy to do it.
Hell yeah.
Sure was.
Yep. Go ahead.
On the sugar plantations that were the mainstay of the island's economy, he opposed the abolition of slavery.
See that?
Across the British Empire in 1832, and went to Antrim to replace his slaves with workers from his native county.
Yep, you see that?
He said he opposed slavery. He was like, nah, not my niggas.
Right.
I need mine.
Right. So that's where Kamala Harris is. That's really where her peoples is from.
Right.
She's barely black. You know what I mean? If she's something that may be on her mom's side, but again, there's a lot of people from India. They're very they have the same kind of shadings as us. You know what I'm saying? So seeing a person who's Indian and saying, "Oh, they look black," that's not a big deal. Just like the Indian lady from The Office. What's her name?
Mindy Kaling.
Mindy Kaling. Her brother went to school on a scholarship, a minority scholarship, being black. He went to medical school saying that he was black. And now there's a whole article and everything written about that. So this is what she's doing now. So the whole thing with politics and all of the highly polished, what they call parlor tricks and polished tricks, that's what's going on with that whole thing. I know we ain't talking about, we talking about sports, but we had to get in on Kamala real quick. But this is what we dealing with, a bunch of madness.
Hey, and that's what you call the art of war right there.
That's right.
That's the art of war, man. Deception, man. If you can make somebody
let's tap into the lady that was over the NAACP that was white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he dropped the pen on him.
Hey, listen, the NAACP. Listen, we had our little thing with them. We're not gonna talk crazy because they gonna come. We had to chop them up a little bit because they wasn't right. They wasn't right, but we're gonna get them again. We're gonna sit down and talk with them again. You know what I mean? They found the error of their ways, I think, a little bit. I'm trying to be nice. But the NAACP, again, another organization that's not really for our people, was always created by the others. It was something just like you said before, we're gonna give it to Brewster's Millions, where they can control our movement, control where the money's going, so on and so forth, you know?
what's that thing they put in the baby's mouth? The pacifier. It's just pacifier just for
There
a
you
little
go.
bit.
Right.
Nah, there you
You
go.
know.
That's real talk.
That's what it do.
We're gonna show you something else too from the ancient time. Bring up those pictures with the boxes in them and all of that. Just to let you know, all this whole sports thing started, and it was beautiful that you brought that out when you first came and said it started from the Romans and during the Greeks in them time, because that's exactly when that started. Obviously, our people were always athletic before that, but in regards to the organized sports and this whole marketing of it and selling to the people and fans and all of that,
Well, they got tons of movies that show it.
That's right. That's
but,
right.
you know, when we're young, we watch these movies, we're not thinking anything of it. But now that's history.
That's right. That's right. It is history. Y'all got it? There you go. Can you read that, Matthias?
Which one? The left on the left side?
Let's read the right one.
Okay, number
down at the bottom.
49?
Right.
Okay. Y'all good.
They got to push it up so we can see the image as well.
Yeah, zoom out just a little bit so we can see.
Push it up so we can see it's written and no, the other way. The other way. There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Terracotta statuettes of boxers, late Hellenistic.
Stop. Late Hellenistic. So that Hellenistic, that means what? Those were the Hellenized Jews or the Greek-speaking Jews. That's what we're looking at right there. All right. Okay. Even if you look in the Bible, if you look in the Gideon Bible, right, in Acts chapter 6, it will actually talk about the Hellenized Jews, which just meant that the Greek-speaking Jews, but we were black. If you notice anything saying Hellenized, you're going to see these black figures. But go ahead.
Tightly curled hair, close to head.
There you go.
Broad nose, thick lips.
Babe Ruth. Yeah, right. We got to call it Babe. We're going to call it black, but you're going to call it Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Right? But these are the boxes right here. Look, same shorts. He got the Muhammad Ali shorts on.
Right. He doing the Archie
Moore. And right, and they got the whole blocking style. Yeah. The brother to the right, he trying to fake him out. He faking towards the sky, but he gonna come down low. You know what I mean? But this is the stuff. It's already recorded, and our people, we just come behind and we do it because we good at it. You know? Thanks, brothers. Y'all can drop that. But go ahead, James.
No, that was. I mean, everything we've been touching on is in alignment,
right,
with just the direction I've been, led back into.
Right.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on the show to, educate me as well. So I've learned a lot.
No, for real, and it was good for us to have you as well because we having somebody with real world experience when it's coming into these leagues. And real quick, but how was the difference before you go? I know that you also played in the CFL.
Yes.
Right. And how was that league? And we know that that's like a more of a minor league compared to the NFL with all the glitz and the glamour and all of that. But how was that league? How were you treated there? Did they have like a better treatment? Man.
So the CFL is the NFL of Canada.
Right.
So it's big up there. They got their own ESPN up there.
Okay.
But they're only allowed so many Americans per team.
Right.
See, so I was one of the ones, had to have so many Canadians, but then at the skill positions, you can have Americans.
Right.
So guess you have a black quarterback, you have a black running back, you got black receivers.
Right.
But you may have, but you got to have at least one Canadian receiver and one or two Canadian receivers and a Canadian safety. I mean, it had to be more Canadians than Americans.
Right. Because they know we just going to go up there and take over the game. I mean, that's not their thing.
Oh, but I was treated very well actually because of my status of what I created down here in the United States.
Right.
So when I got there, people had football cards, wanted me to sign, and so on and so forth. I still hold the 2003 Labor Day Classic kickoff return record of 103 yards.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're still holding on. All right, you still got it.
I still got that.
Okay.
And and it's on YouTube because
Okay.
I ended up keeping that clip, and I look at it from time to time, you know, and remind myself how fast I used to be. These balls be hurting. You know?
Yeah.
But it's the same as NFL. Everything is political,
Right.
and you either gonna play because upstairs want you to play,
Right.
or you're going to play because you have to play because we didn't pay this dude all this money, and even though he may be garbage, we pay him all this money. Find a place for him on the field.
Right.
It's not really technically about winning, if you really think about it. It's if you just so happen to have the right people in the right places, and you just so happen to win, great.
Right.
But nowadays, it ties into people having to take pay cuts. Well, if I'm somebody making $200 million, and I know that we need people these positions, and $50 million needs to be freed up, hey, let me restructure my contract. That's what Tom Brady did.
Right. Right.
But you haven't heard of any black quarterbacks, if I'm not mistaken, but restructure their contracts, or any black athletes that would completely restructure their, not too many, probably a handful, restructure their contracts. Like, what could you do with a $200 million contract? You can't spend all that money.
No. But you also don't want to give it up.
But yeah, and that's that covenant, is being greedy.
Yep.
You're being greedy. Like I have a meme, and it has 3 lines, and it's the same man. He's chasing money, he's chasing work, and at the end, he has all this money, right? And then it basically falls off a cliff. He has nothing to show for it. It's like he's just standing there, getting ready to fall off a cliff because he chased all this money and surpassed everything that he was technically supposed to do in life.
Right.
So the goal that they're portraying right now is get your money, get the bag, it's the bag, get your money, get the bag. Like, I can't stand that, because you're teaching people to be selfish, and then our own people mistreat us.
Oh yeah.
Because they got all this money. You know, so there's been a few times where I don't care how much money you made. I don't care what sport you play. I used to be a professional athlete too. That's how I look at it. So you can't big time me. I don't care who you are.
You can't big time me.
So good for him.
Right.
Oh, that's so and so. Okay. You don't want his autograph. What I want his autograph for? I used to be a pro athlete.
Well, you're not gonna want nobody autograph. You used to run a 4.2.
Right. I got my own autograph. So
I got my own autograph.
So
You faster than all the guys that was running today. It's probably like only one person running 4.2 in the NFL right now. Maybe one or two. That's outrageous speed.
Guy that came out of school, he came out and ran the combine. He ran like 4.2 something.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah.
But you know, when you see people that treat another person as if that's their God, like they worship these people,
right.
And God, you should not have no other gods before me.
That's right.
You're not supposed to put your trust in man.
That's right.
At all. But they continue to do it. And then guess what? Man will fail you every time, but the Most High will never fail you. People get impatient because they want what they want when they want it, because God's not working fast enough for them.
Right.
Hey, James, you know, that's across a broad field, putting your trust in man. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do exactly what the Most High tell you to do, then you follow by default. You follow after man by default, because there's certain ways that the Most High tell us to conduct ourselves, and if we go against that, then by default you follow after man and you follow after this world. Give me James 4:4 right quick. James 4:4.
This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 4.
Come on.
Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Come on.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world.
Whosoever
isn't-
therefore shall be a friend of this world. How do one proclaim to be a friend of this world? Because if you ask people, they're gonna be like, "No, I'm not a friend of this world. I don't do nothing this world do." But actually, you do. Guess what? You got people that break the Sabbath every week. If you do that, then guess what? By default, you are a friend of this world and you follow after man.
Right.
You got people that that sell drugs to one another, and they think that they think in their mind that they doing their own thing, but you really live after this man that ruled this world.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Read on.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world.
Whosoever therefore shall do after this world do, whether it be the way that you live, the way that you dress, the who you date, the way you groom yourself. The Lord got real guidelines for all of those things that I just mentioned. He tell us how to groom ourselves. He tell us who to date. I mean, not date. He tell us who to marry.
Right.
You know, he tell us how to treat one another. But when we go outside of those guidelines and the parameters that he gave us, which is our purpose, go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Which is
I got that right
part.
here. That's why I was going right now. I said before we let our brother go, we got to hit him with this before he go.
Yeah, go ahead, Cap.
I didn't finish that last part.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Yeah.
No, there was more in the scripture. I didn't
Oh,
finish.
go ahead.
more,
Finish it
okay.
off. Finish it off.
It says, "Whosoever therefore will be a friend of this world is the enemy of God."
By default. Come on. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cap. You got it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
Hold on. Before we go to 13, I just want to read one. Go to verse 11.
Verse
All right,
11.
10. Start there.
Verse 10. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words,
Go ahead.
and that which was written was upright, even the words of truth.
Right. So those are all the commandments of God, the laws, the statutes, and commandments. That's what the Lord is saying, right? Those what? Those upright words. Go ahead.
The words of the wise are as gold.
The words of the wise are as golds, right? Meaning something that's going to stimulate you to move, right? Something that's going to bore in you and make you move. Go ahead.
And as nails fashioned by the masters of assemblies.
Right. The masters of assemblies, meaning what? The all of the teachers that are trying to, with the word of God, trying to make you move through the law, right? Go ahead.
Which are given from one shepherd.
Which are given by Christ. Jump to 13.
Verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
And this is it. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Go ahead.
Fear God.
Fear God.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. Go ahead.
For this is the whole duty of man.
This is what we got to do, James. Our whole duty is to keep the commandments of God, so that we wanted to leave you with that, man.
Right.
But thank you for blessing us, bro, with your presence, man. It was an
Yes, sir.
excellent-
Yes, sir.
excellent
Yes,
show.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Great. You taught me a lot, and man, I'd love to get back on the show again.
Yeah, hey, we'd love to have
Yeah.
you back.
Part 2
That-
with James.
You got my info, so let's keep in touch.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
All right.
All right. Blessings to you and the family, my brother.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Shalom.
All right, brother.
All praises. All praises.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Another good one down, man.
Yeah.
Give a round of applause, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good stuff that was coming out, man. And our people got to know and
It was.
understand that this world is not for us.
No.
The world is not for us. They put this stuff in your face for you to fall.
That's right.
For you to fall into that trap, man. Because remember, give me Jeremiah 5:25 right quick. Jeremiah 5:25. You gotta remember, man. This ain't none of this for you. Ain't none of this was made for you. Not this current world. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 25.
Come on.
Your iniquities have turned away these things,
Uh-huh.
and your sins have withholden good things from you.
That's why we can't never have nothing, because our sins block those blessings. And they know that. That's why they quick to show transgenders doing the Olympics. That's why they quick to show that.
Right.
This is why they put weed legally into your communities, because they know that those sins is gonna hold back the good things that the Most High got waiting for us. Go ahead.
Yeah. Give me Psalm 64 real quick. All right. I think we got to close it up. I know. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you got to go to work. You see what I'm saying? Now the show about to hit. Oh yeah, I got to get to work.
Work.
Y'all ain't paying me enough to
He
be
said
on
it
here.
like Rihanna.
I ain't about all this
He said,
overtime.
Work.
Work. Yo, stop playing, bruh. Yo, crazy. Right? And just going back to the whole sports thing and what we was dealing with in terms of how they was moving real smooth. We're taking down all of our businesses that we had in terms of owning those teams because they knew that we were actually helping the whole community.
Yeah.
Right? But look at this. Read 64. We're going to start in verse 1. Read down.
Psalms chapter 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from wicked. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Go ahead.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Who whet their tongue like a sword.
Who sharpen their tongue like a sword. That's how they're able to come in there. Hey, you're going to join this league. We're going to be able to pay you X amount of dollars. Like the brother said, why would they pay a man $50 million when he just coming out of college? He ain't even do nothing yet. Because if they pay you what you worth, which is maybe $1 million, who really going to want to do that?
Right.
They're going to say, man, I might as well just stay and be an engineer or something like that. Go ahead.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Come on.
That they may shoot the secret.
Shoot.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Right, so they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Man. At the perfect what? At the perfect laws of God. Right? Because when you keeping them laws and you moving correct, and now what? Like you brought out earlier, right? A gift destroyeth the heart. Right? That's that right there. They shooting in secret at the perfect. Here's the gift. This is the secret.
Right.
But to you, you're not looking at it like, oh yeah, boom, at the perfect. So now you destroyed. You ain't keeping no laws no more. Now you over here. Go ahead.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Right. And they talking about Christ, obviously. They shooting at him and fear not because they don't give a damn. They going after the Lord, right? Thinking that what? We're going to do this and people going to leave off from him and follow behind that, right? So that's it. We're going to leave it there because we're going to have to close it up. We're going to close it up.
Yeah, we could keep
right?
on going.
Yeah, we could. But we know we've been on it a couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? We messed up that first half hour. Yeah, we about to take some people out to the woodshed.
They gonna go to the locker and see if their name is up.
Yeah, their name is off.
Gonna be on the list.
Yeah,
where's my name at? You see your name?
Yo, as soon as they walk in, they go see somebody like this, peeling that name right off. Damn.
Oh, that's how it's
With
gonna
all
be.
praises.
Man.
No, it was an excellent show, man. Shout out to James Hundon. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot, we forgot to ask him about his pops. Yo, his pops was a martial artist, man. Pops was in great shape.
Oh, that's who I was just looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. It was. He looked just like him.
He
That's
looked
who-
just like
that
his
was
dad.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Dad.
Okay,
oh
okay.
man, we next time we you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get
Yeah,
Dad on.
we
here.
gonna bring him back.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna shut it down. It was a beautiful show. All praise to the Lord. And next week we're gonna have a hell of a show for you.
Yes.
Right? Lord spare our lives. We're gonna be discussing the history of Oakland and also some important things from the men's conference. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
boy.
boy.
Yeah, we're gonna have some treats for y'all next week. Lord spare our lives. All right. So with that, we're gonna say shalom. Hey, bro, come on. Don't
Do the
forget.
thing.
Don't forget. Don't forget.
Come on, give it to me.
You ready to go home and sleep? You might forget what you got to do.
Yeah, give it to me, man. And if you don't show up next week, we may have to put hands on you. Read what you got.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 21.
Come on.
Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall?
Yep.
If ye do so again,
If you do so again,
I will lay hands on you.
we will lay hands on you. Hey, y'all tuned in to the Nehemiah Squad, man. It's time to go. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Yo, man, what's up? Why they keep playing with the Tony?
I don't know, man.
They ain't know that we dream team?
I guess not.
Yo, stop playing. Stop letting them know. My whip be a horse, no Rory. I'm switching the lanes, no Tory. So hot, just coming safari. Hey, just not look at the glory. Don't bow before before me. Talk shit, then it's gonna be gory. Road dogs pulled up with a big strap. So call like sorry. Me and BZ know we go way back. In the basement whipping the playback. Mistakes that I pay for my sins though.